Um, yeah, it was. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was all right.
Although clearly disappointed in his performance over the past year, the subject is hesitant to admit as much.
Lots of different stuff, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
The subject did not hold a steady job, preferring instead to freelance on a number of short-term projects.
Beginning of last year, I was working on Two Sisters. It's a TV movie, Disney Channel, something. Some other movies, like theatrical stuff. I worked on Major Movie Star with Jessica Simpson, just briefly. Just these are, just a couple days here and there. The Year of Getting to Know Us with Jimmy Fallon and Sharon Stone. This movie called The Night Watchman. It's Keanu Reeves and Forrest Whitaker, and looks like LA Cop. That one I think could actually be all right. I'm not so sure about the other ones, but they could be great either. Don't sue me.
The subject shows little pride in his work, but does not hesitate to mention the names of famous co-workers.
Let's see, TV, I worked quite a number of days. I mean, not like a regular, but on Journeyman's, an NBC show. It was on Mondays. Some reality stuff. I worked on Bodog, Battle of the Bands, the Kamora Simmons, Life in the Fab Lane. Currently employed by Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood for the E! Channel. That's going to be coming to a close pretty soon.
His employment requires little creative responsibility or input, and provides relatively little in the way of monetary, personal, or creative rewards, or benefits of any kind.
I shot for the Race Across America, which is in June, and had a great time doing that. Everyone was great. I had a good time even when I was interviewing like 50 people in one day in 10-minute blocks, like back to back to back to back with no breaks.
The subject appears to take significantly more pride in work which requires more creative input, freedom, and responsibility, even though it may be more difficult.
Lots of things that I'm trying to get started, trying to get moving on, but it's, I always seem to be, I run out of time, or, something comes up or whatever, but yeah, it's actually, to be honest with you, there are a lot of things I want to do, and sometimes it can get just a little bit overwhelming.
Despite having goals and plans regarding personal projects, the subject finds it difficult to start and complete these projects. He is quick to offer a long list of excuses, explaining why this is the case.
Most of my friends live somewhere else. I don't really have a lot of friends that live in LA. So
The subject has shown only limited success at forging and maintaining new social relationships.
yeah, I have gotten out to do some traveling and see some friends that are, that don't live here. I went to the Bay Area, Northern California, and saw some friends up there, and went to a friend's cabin up at Lake Tahoe with some friends. So that was really fun. We rode around Lake Tahoe on our bikes, which was exhausting, and almost got eaten by a bear. I went and I visited my friend Tim down in Yuma, Arizona, and we drove down to Mexico. I hadn't really seen a lot of that part of Mexico before, so that was a new, interesting thing. Yeah, as I was telling you, Race Across America. So I traveled a little bit for that. I mean, it was San Diego, that's not far, but I went with the race for a good portion of the race. Got to go to the Grand Canyon for the first time on that trip. Most recently went to Munich for the Snoop show. It was for him hosting the MTV Europe Awards. It was mostly work, which was kind of disappointing, but got to see a little bit of the city, so it was all right.
The subject appears to be a confident and knowledgeable traveler. Perhaps wanderlust is a contributing factor in his underperformance.
One of the bad things was I missed pretty much the entire World Series. Red Sox are my team. That was disappointing, and but a lot less disappointing than the California Golden Bears the second half of the season. How about that? Yeah, thanks a lot. That was great.
It is quick to point out a negative associated with his travel in Europe. It isn't uncommon for a subject to reveal his feelings about himself through sport. This particular subject appears to have high expectations that are rarely met, and when they are, they tend to be less than satisfying.
If I'm working, if it's a late call, I get up and go running, get in a good run, take a shower, eat, get ready, all that stuff, and then head out to work wherever the location is. Just work pretty much for like 12 hours, which is usually involves either running around like crazy or hanging around doing nothing, waiting to run around like crazy. If you're lucky, it's mostly hanging around and, you're just kind of hanging around with friends on set. So I get back from that and I'm pretty knocked out. Maybe watch some TV or read, or if I've got the energy still, I'll be able to, get a little of my own personal work done. But most of the time, I'm just head for bed and knock out.
The agency feels that although the subject is currently underperforming, he may turn the corner soon. His running regimen suggests that he may have the discipline necessary to move forward with his personal work. We await next year's interview to evaluate the subject's progress.